So many of us spend all year looking forward to spending our time with family around the Christmas tree or the dinner table, but even though you're out of the office, you might still be checking your inbox. So we brought in someone to help you really unplug. Jason Womack is the author of Your Best Just Got Better. And Jason, I love this idea of finding the right balance in work and your home life. I really am a fast and hard believer that that makes you better at work and better at home when you can do that. So you say one way you can make sure that you're really enjoying your downtime is by not working more hours but using the time we have in a better way. So tell me how you do that.
Gosh, I love how you put that, Kay, because for me, the hours that we have aren't going to be any more in a week or a month, and they aren't going to be any more in the past. So what I take a look at is, instead of doing the work-life balance, I really see it as a work-life blend. And what's happening more and more is people are bringing it with them. They're bringing work home, and of course they're bringing home to work. And so one of the things that we take a look at is, how can the busy people, whether you're a full-time parent, whether you're looking for your next opportunity, whether you own your own business, it's how do we keep going? How do we keep that mission moving forward, especially around the holidays?
Yeah, that is a really good question. So how do we do that? If you have to be working a little bit on time off with your family, is there a way to do that where you're not making your family think you come second in my life and I've got to do this now? What's a good way to do that?
Leading up to the holidays, there's really three things that I'm asking my clients to focus in on. The first one is acknowledging accomplishment. There's people around that they're working hard too, that they're busting their you-know-whats to try to get things done, especially at year end. The second thing we're going to take a look at is, what would ideal look, sound, and feel like? What would an ideal day look like? What would an ideal meeting look like? And then the third thing is really crafting for yourself that messaging of, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to focus on it in smaller chunks at a higher degree of focus.
That's a good advice. Sometimes hard, though, to shift those gears, especially if you're at home and all of a sudden you remember, I was supposed to send that text or reply to that email.
Yes.
That's really where the whole art of this comes in, I think.
And for me, the piece of advice that I like to share is, what we can do single tasking, what I call monotasking, can be a 4-to-1 return. And by that I mean, if I'm at home and if I suddenly remember to do a task, to email someone, to make a phone call, what I'll work as hard as I can to, Kay, is I will look to only do that one thing. So instead of being at the dinner table and maybe under the table trying to type something, I'll excuse myself and say, look, I need 15 minutes. Or during that day, what can I do in 15 or 30 minutes that, if I were distracted, might wind up taking half the day?
Okay, that's good advice. What about smartphones, all these gadgets? We have, you know, mini iPads now, things you can stick under a table. Should we have a rule around holiday time, no electronics at the dinner table?
It's a great question. If I were to do a rule, it would be more along the lines of this. Identify what each tool is best for. For me, and this is what I suggest to all my clients, my phone, my mobile phone, great for checking in, quick replies back and forth. My tablet, fantastic for consumption. It's where I'll read things, it's where I'll watch things. But I won't create until I get back to my laptop or my desktop. And I think what winds up people is they waste so much time trying to create on a tool that's really been designed for consumption.
Okay, and I notice that sometimes people use that smartphone especially as a way to maybe build a wall between them and what's going on, be detached, they don't want to be. So I kind of like the idea of leaving all the electronics, you know, in another room while you're having that, whatever, 30 minutes of dinner or what have you. You don't need to be checking in at that time. I don't know if you agree with that, Jason, but that's what I'm sticking with.
Fantastic.
Jason Womack, thank you so much. Your Best Just Got Better is the name of your book, and such an interesting read. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Cindy's in the Weather Center taking a look at